Hello and welcome to another midweek episode of the Successful Mentalist podcast. Of course, it's just the tip. My name's Ashley Green, and as always, I'm joined by the amazing co-host that is Aidan O'Sullivan.
Hello, this is a really exciting episode today because we're talking about a really taboo subject. A subject that we always see arguing backwards and forwards from in every single Magic Mentalism Facebook forum it's hilarious because it's genuinely so silly. But we're talking about card tricks in Mentalism. Now, we're going to say this from the get-go. We both use card tricks within our Mentalism. Simple as that. We both use them because they are so useful. And they're so many things. And we're going to try and give you a reason to use these card tricks in Mentalism, a reason why you shouldn't, and then our overall thoughts at the end of that. So, Ashley, why don't you kick us off to start with? Why do you use card tricks in Mentalism?
100%. Right, let's have this argument for the final time, finally, amongst mentalists. The reason why I use card tricks in Mentalism, obviously, I could say the usual common answer, which is what most people would tend to say. Well, if you could really read minds, you'd be down the casino every single day. It's a super valid point, and that's a valid premise point if you're going to put it there. If you were really a mind reader, it might be an unethical one, and you might just be scamming people. So that's a valid point to actually back up the fact of why you do the mental card tricks in Mentalism. But when I'm performing, even though I perform as like a heavy psychic Aidan, I actually do regular card tricks in Mentalism. I might do a 4-ace reveal. I might do a 4 playing card production. Why? Because it adds diversity to my act. I'm actually explaining, adding in diversity, and it goes down to the beautiful magic principle, which you've outlined in previous podcasts.
Yeah, for anybody who isn't aware of the beautiful magic principle, it's kind of that rule that I give myself whenever I'm writing a show or a real performance piece, an extended performance piece. It is quite simply that I force myself, even in a Mentalism show, to have at least one piece of beautiful magic. And this is a piece of magic that's so standalone. I can either have music playing and it completely silent, or it just stands out as such a beautiful piece. And the reason I do that is because it adds that contrast, which we were speaking about a few episodes back. But it adds that contrast and that real element of diversity in a way that people actually resonate and appreciate. And again, what you're saying here, Ashley, is that you're using the beautiful magic principle and applying it directly to the world of card tricks.
Exactly that. I think it perfectly suits. And I know in real world situations, Aidan, for real people, real audiences, they love it. They go wild for it. And if anything, it adds to the actual entertainment factor, because my job, my sole job, is to put smiles on faces. If they are having a better time, if they are going away more happier with their lives, I've put a little smile on their head and I've turned that frown upside down, or whatever the saying goes, like, then that's my job done. And if I can do that through adding a card trick into a heavy psychic routine, why wouldn't I? So, come on then. Give me a reason why not to use card tricks in Mentalism, Aidan.
I'll be honest, this one's quite tough because it goes against everything I believe in. Like, I use cards all of the time, but I guess really the big thing that I've got, and it's the big problem that I face, and I know a lot of other people face this problem as well, it's that, well, people see you with a deck of cards and instantly you're the magician. And no matter how much, and again, I've seen performers argue this, I think it's BS when they start saying, like, oh no, but if I can convince them that I'm the mind reader, not the magician. No. They will believe that you are the magician because you have a deck of cards. They see you doing tricks, even if you don't want them to be called tricks. They see you doing these tricks. You're just the magician. You get that label. And for a lot of people, they really don't want that. And again, I know for us, like, we don't really care so long as people remember us. But for a lot of people, that's a real big tough point, actually having a label and as that magician rather than mind reader or mentalist or psychic entertainer or whatever the heck you want to go with. So I think it's really an important question for most props and most things that we actually use within our performances. How does this routine or this trick or this effect or whatever you want to call it, what does this prop, what does this element actually add to the overall show and my overall performances? Because it can have these like subconscious little impacts that we don't even realize until it's too late.
See, I get where you're coming from there, but can I just add something into the mix? Surely that's not someone saying, I don't want to do card tricks in Mentalism, blah, 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 blah. That's someone saying, oh, I don't want my ego to be hit. I want to be known as this weird, mystical person, and it's very important people don't see me as a magician, or blah, 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 blah. You've already said, we don't care. If someone's coming in and they're going to view me as a magician, they've already got that preconceived idea ahead of time. At least that's what I believe.
I mean, you're completely right. It comes down to the way you see yourself and the way you want other people to see you. For me, it's very much, I don't care if I'm doing these card tricks so long as I get remembered and so long as it's not the card tricks they remember. If they can come in and remember, oh, you did this amazing card trick, and then tell me about how much fun they had, how like they were laughing, or just some joke or some situational element that was just so funny. If I can do that and really play to that, and that's the story that they come away with, I'm okay with them remembering that I did card tricks, because it's given them so much more and my return of investment is much higher. But a lot of people won't look at it that way. They'll say, oh, it's a card trick. No, I cannot do card tricks because I don't want to be associated with card tricks. And the jarring factor is when they like pull out a tarot deck or they pull out a deck of letter cards or a deck of something else. I don't do card tricks, but if you want to pick a tarot card, on the other hand, I can give, like, I know you've got strong opinions on this, but for me, it's the same thing. It's still a card trick, even though it's tarot. It's just, yeah, really weird to play around with that element of. But we're coming up to the end of this episode now, and I want to be really clear. We love card tricks in mentalism. We think they are I wouldn't say that they're holy grail, but they're really, really powerful. Like, if you go back to a previous episode, I explained why I use card tricks and how I actually get people calling me over to the tables using the deck of cards. It's such a powerful tool, yet so many people get it wrong. What are your closing thoughts, Ashley?
Exactly that, and you've outlined that perfectly. And I think this goes much actually further and beyond the should you do card tricks in mentalism. If people are going away and they're remembering you because of the card trick, then you've done your job wrong, because they're remembering the trick and not you. You need to adjust your performances, you need to adjust yourself, how you present to an audience, and then if they can go away remembering you, it doesn't really matter what you perform, because your main job, stick in their mind. And also what I said, put smiles on faces. Like, I don't care about any of this. Like I've said, I do not care about anything. The underlying thing for me is, can I make someone happy? Does that do the job? Yes, cool, I'll add it in. In terms of consistency, I just make sure it aligns with character. That is it. And that is really all I can add to this point.
And there we go. It's as simple as that. I think ultimately it's something that everybody should actually make that decision themselves, but providing you have a thought process and have a reason behind your answer, and perhaps even a reason behind the reason, then you're all good to either say yes or no. But I guess this is just a campaign for us to stop seeing silly, pointless debates in mentalism happening over on Facebook groups and just spiraling into arguments, if I'm honest. But we'd love to know your thoughts. We're actually going to throw up a poll the day this episode comes out. We want you to head over to our private network, community.thesuccessfulmentalist.com, and you'll be able to see a fresh poll on there where you can vote. Do you do card tricks in mentalism? Yes, no. Whereabouts are you in this world? We'd love to hear and have these conversations, these positive, constructive conversations. So if you want to come and join us and have all of the other free events and bonus stuff that we're doing, go to community.thesuccessfulmentalist.com for all of the fun stuff, and we'll see you in there.